Good morning, darling. Bennett? Bennett, why don't you look at me? Darling, I know something's wrong, but I don't know what it is. Everything was just fine the night that Tom got here. I know the two of you got along so well. And the next day we had that beautiful breakfast together, and we had such a good time. And then Tom and I went into town, and when we came back, you've been so quiet and withdrawn. Can't you tell me what it is?
It's nothing, Liz.
Well, I know better than that. I know something's wrong. Can't you at least talk to me about it, Bennett?
I said I don't want to talk about it.
Look, if you say you don't want to talk about it and you claim it's nothing, then can't you try to be a little bit cheerful? Look, this is Tom's last day. And how can I make him feel at ease if I'm all concerned about you and wondering what's wrong with you? Can't you tell me?
I just don't want to go into it now.
Bennett, you and I agreed that we would have no secrets.
How can you talk to me about secrets?
Why don't you tell me what it is?
Not until Tom's gone.
Does it have to do with Tom?
No, it has nothing to do with Tom at all.
Well, then why?
I just want to talk about it when we're alone. I don't even want Hester here. I'm going to drop her off at home and we take Tom down to the airport.
It has to do with Hester, doesn't it? What did she say to you?
It's between the two of us.
We're alone now. Why don't you talk to me about it?
I just said we'll talk about it tonight when we're alone. Together. Just the two of us.
Melinda, this is terrific. I think Mrs. Bryce will love it.
Oh, I think it's beautiful, too, but I don't know that much about art.
Hope she doesn't have it already.
No, she shouldn't. It's brand new. It just came out a few days ago.
Well, then I'm sure she doesn't.
Good. You want to take it with you?
No, I wanted to have it there. She's going to the rest home today.
Oh, okay. We'll have a messenger deliver it then.
Terrific.
All right. What's the address?
Oh, I don't know. Do you have a phone book?
Oh, sure. Right here.
It's the Shady Rest Convalescent Home.
Ah, here it is. Here it is, yes. 1229 Clinton Avenue. Okay, we'll have it delivered there this morning.
Oh, that'd be great.
So, what do you hear from Tom?
Well, he called last night. We had a nice long talk.
Yeah, it sounds encouraging.
Yeah, he's coming home tonight.
Oh, I bet you can't wait.
It'd be good to see him.
Are you going to meet him at the airport?
Well, we talked about it. He said he'd call later to firm up our plans. That is, if his flight isn't too late.
Do you think the two of you have had the time you needed to think things through?
Well,
Morning. Hello, Sheila.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Sheila.
Oh, Sheila.
Yeah.
Lisa called Judy last night, and she'd like everyone who can work tonight to do a complete inventory on all the books we have on hand before the Christmas shipments come in.
Oh, tonight?
Yes. Are you available? I know you have that job at Wrangler's.
Well, tonight's my night off. It's just that a friend from out of town called. Woke me up, in fact, and I've made some personal plans for tonight.
Well, that's okay. We can get along without you.
I'm really sorry. I had no idea. I'll call Mrs. Coleman in Norwich and explain.
You don't have to do that.
Well, I'd feel better if she knew. I mean, I don't want her to think I'm taking this job for granted or that I want to get out of extra work.
Well, you can explain to her next time she calls.
I just feel better if I explain to her myself right now. Oh, look, I'm really sorry about being late, but my friend, you know, just could not get off the phone. I'm sorry.
Morning.
Tom, don't do that to me. You should know better than to scare me like that in a place like this.
Gee, I thought this was the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, if you wanted to just do your poor mother in, my goodness.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, ordinarily, I would think it was rather amusing, but I've already told you about feeling like I'm being watched all the time around here. I find it very unnerving, Tom.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Mom.
Mm-hmm.
While we're alone, and since you brought it up, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, since you're so edgy, how can you look forward to spending the rest of your life up here in a place that makes you so jumpy?
Oh, and it's not going to be that way all the time. I'm going to take care of that.
Oh, how?
Oh, it's very simple. Once I marry Bennett, then I will have a lot more authority around here, and I'll see to it that the person who keeps me so on edge will be looking for another job for herself.
But there's something about the atmosphere of the whole place.
Now, don't worry. I'm going to take care of that, too.
Oh?
Uh-huh. I've told you what I was going to do. We're going to redo the whole place. Then we're going to reopen it to paying customers. It's going to be just beautiful. If I didn't have that to look forward to, believe me, I wouldn't stay on here forever.
Did, Bennett tell you what was bothering him?
Oh, yes, darling. It has nothing to do with you, believe me.
You asked him?
Yes. You see, Tom, it seems that when Bennett gets really involved in his writing, he becomes very withdrawn. And, well, that's all he can think about is just his work.
Well, that was it, then? Just his work?
Yes, it's on his mind constantly. Well, you can understand that. That's a lot, you know. It's just like with you, with your legal work. When you become involved in a case, there are times when you just absolutely can't get it out of your mind. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's the same thing with Bennett, except that this happens to be very personal as well.
So, that could be a little difficult to live with.
No, Bennett isn't like this all the time. It's just, well, usually he's very affectionate and very loving. And there are times, Tom, when he makes me feel like we're the only two people in the whole world.
Then you're really happy with him up here?
Oh, yes, I am. Do I have your blessing?
You always do.
Oh, Tom, I'm so glad you were able to come up here, even if it was just such a short time, but I've never felt so close to you.
I feel the same way. I don't feel good about having to leave you here tonight, though, and go back to Oakdale. With everything that you've told me, all the things that Hester Pierce has done to frighten you, like slashing that portrait and then saying you only dreamed it.
Well, don't worry about that. Have you noticed that Hester hasn't done any of her tricks while you've been here?
Mm-hmm. But it could start up the minute I leave.
If it does, then I'm sure that Bennett will realize it, and he will get rid of her.
You know, if ever you do need anything, any help, you could call that, was it Derek Bickford I met? You seem like a nice guy.
Yes, he is. He does seem to be. He's only going to be here, though, for another week or so. Now, if I could just find that slashed-up portrait of Ruth, then that would really be all the proof I need to show Bennett, and then he would know I was not imagining it. He would get rid of that Hester. He would fire in a minute. Be the end of all of her tricks.
Why do you think she does it?
Oh, it's her jealousy. Oh, she wants me away from here. She really does. I wonder, Tom, a thought just occurred to me. I wonder if maybe Hester didn't drive Ruth away. Maybe Ruth isn't as bad a person as Bennett thought she was. Maybe Hester kind of set her up to really make Bennett think she was terrible.
What about that theory you had the other day? You know, about Ruth not having left the inn, that she's still here hiding away for some reason?
Oh, I don't know whether I believe that or not. I'm really not sure. I was just trying to think of some reason, some explanation for feeling like there's another presence here.
Well, then you still feel that?
Yeah, I do. I don't right at this moment, but I certainly have. Like, oh, there was a time, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was down in the cellar, and, well, it happened to be a very bad storm was going on, the thunder and the lightning, and that doesn't help at all down there in the cellar. Well, come to think of it, even in a beautiful day when it's crystally clear and high noon, cellar can really be a spooky place.
Mom, I want you to promise me not to go down there again alone.
All right, I promise, except I just want to find out where Hester put that portrait.
Mom.
But, Tom, all right, I won't go alone. I'll take Hester with me.
Oh, I'm serious about
yeah,
this.
well, I know, I'm serious, too. No, I'm just playing. So. What?
No.
Oh, I guess, yeah, well, Hester probably answered the phone. That's her job, you know.
Now, Mom, I really mean this. I wouldn't go snooping around anywhere in this house alone.
All right, I promise I won't.
Now, your curiosity sometimes gets the better of your judgment.
Yeah, I know. Curiosity killed the...
What's the matter?
Just having to think about something. There's the most beautiful cat around here, and I have not seen that little thing since I got back from Oakdale.
Telephone, Mrs. Coleman. I'm Miss Sheila Winston.
Are you sure she wants to speak to me or to...
She asked for you.
Thank you. Sheila, hello. What can I do for you? Mm-hmm.
Can I bring you anything, Mr. Hughes?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm just waiting for my mother.
Well, maybe you'd like to read a book while you're waiting. Mr. Hadley has an excellent library.
Yes, I noticed. By the way, where is Bennett?
Locked in his room. Working on his novel.
Oh. Yeah, he's very disciplined, isn't he?
Yes,
I notice you are, too. You're always working.
it's my job.
You get much time off?
I don't get any particular days off. Mr. Hadley gives me free time whenever I need it.
It must be kind of lonely for you here.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, not being in your real home.
This is my real home.
Yeah, but I thought you had a place in town.
Well, I do, but I've spent far more time here. My family worked here when I was a little girl. I grew up here. This feels much more like home to me than my place in town.
Oh. So you were here when the place was open to the public?
Yes, of course.
I guess you're looking forward to Bennett and my mother having guests in again.
It'll never happen.
Why?
Mr. Hadley's talked about it for over a year, but he's never done anything about it.
Ah, but now that my mother's involved, all that'll change.
We'll see.
Oh, she's a very determined woman. She plans to redecorate the inn, change it back to the way it was, only better.
Can I say something to you and ask you never to repeat it?
Hmm?
I can see that you love your mother,
Well, of course I do, very much.
and you want what's best for her.
Yeah, I want her to be happy.
Then take her away from here. When you leave on that plane tonight, take her with you and never let her come back again.
Why?
Just do as I say.
Well, it'd be rather difficult to persuade her to go back with me unless there was a very good reason for it.
If you care about her, you'll find a way.
I don't see how. I mean, I came up here to help her with her wedding plans. They've set the date for the first week in December. It would seem a little odd if I started asking her to go back to Oakdale with me now.
Make some excuse. Just get her away from this place.
Mrs. Pierce, why is it so important for her to leave when she's so happy here?
I can't say any more. I've said too much already.
Well, no. There's nobody in the room with us. Why does she have to leave the Willows?
No, I'm running a terrible risk as it is.
With whom? Or what?
Just believe me. This is no kind of a place for a woman like her. She likes an active life with people around her. I've heard her talk about it all the time.
Yeah, well, why can't she have that here when the inn is reopened?
There's a sadness here. A deep sadness. And sooner or later, it's going to affect her. We'll be having lunch about 1:30, if that's all right with you, Mr. Hughes.
Oh, yes. That's fine with me, Mrs. Pierce.
Excuse me.
Hello, the Willows. Lisa? Hi, it's Barbara Ryan.
Well, Barbara, it's so good to hear from you.
It's good to hear your voice, too. Listen, is Tom there by any chance? We weren't really setting our plans tonight.
I honestly don't know where anyone is. I just had a little nap a few minutes ago. I lay down for a few minutes after lunch, and quite frankly, I don't know where anyone is. Oh, I'm sure he must be around. Hold on a minute. Let me check.
Thanks.
I'm down here, Mom, in the cellar.
What in the world are you doing down here?
Just looking around.
Oh, I almost gave up on you, and then I saw the cellar door open. And... Oh, Barbara's on the phone. She wants to talk to you.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Boy, you're right about this place. It's very creepy.
It's not creepy when you're down here with me.
You know, just before you came down here, I felt just what you were talking about. Like there was somebody else down here with me.
Well, I'm certainly glad that someone else in the family has an active imagination.
I hope that's all it is. I've been looking around everywhere for that slashed portrait. I haven't found it. The only place I didn't look was in this hamper.
Tom, why don't you go upstairs and talk to Barbara? You know, the poor girl is going to spend her whole salary for a week just waiting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better come up with me.
Well, go ahead. Go on. I'll be up in a minute.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, I hope I didn't take you away from anything.
Oh, no, I'm glad for the interruption.
Why? What were you doing?
Rummaging around a very creepy cellar.
Ooh, what for?
Well, I'll tell you about it when I get back. As a matter of fact, I've got a lot of interesting stories about this place to tell you.
Sounds like perfect stories for Halloween.
No, that would be too much. Wow. I can just imagine what it'd be like to spend Halloween in this place.
You gonna change your mind and stay?
No, I'll be on the plane tonight.
Well, that's what I was calling about. I'm gonna be out of the house most of the day, and I thought you might be able to, be trying to reach me. And since our plans are sort of tentative, I just wasn't sure how things stood.
Yeah, I tried to call you a while ago.
Oh.
Uh-huh. My plane's getting in at 9:30. Can you come and pick me up?
9:30? Sure, I can be there.
Are you sure you don't mind?
No, I'd love to. I just thought maybe you'd made other arrangements since we last talked.
Why would you think that?
I don't know, no reason. I'm just glad you called. I'm glad,
Well, it'll be good to get back.
It'd be good to see you.
The only thing is, I hate the thought of leaving my mother in this God-forsaken place.
Is it that bad?
Well, it's not my idea of Sunnybrook Farm, I can tell you that.
Well, I guess when you're in as much love as your mother is, it doesn't matter where you are.
Oh, love is blind?
No, just, accepting.
Well, we'll have to talk about that when I get back.
Yeah.
I'll see you tonight.
Right. I'll be there. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Where's Lisa, Tom?
Oh, I don't know. She was down in the cellar a minute ago. I thought she was coming right up.
Is Lisa out in the kitchen?
I have no idea. I just came in from the woodshed,
What are you doing out there?
bringing in kindling for the fires tonight.
There you are.
Oh, wow.
My, what a nice welcome.
I didn't know where you were. Glad you're all right.
Well, of course I am. Why wouldn't I be all right? Oh.
And Tom said he tried to call you? Mm-hmm. Just before I got a hold of him. Well, of course, when he said that, I thought he was calling to tell me not to bother to pick him up.
Oh, I'm so glad you called him.
So am I.
I know that Sheila was working on him to let her pick him up, but you won.
Oh, come on. This is not a contest.
I know the tricks that she plays, and I just love it when they don't work.
Oh, boy, am I glad you're in my corner. I'd hate to have you on the other side.
You know, it's a good thing that Lisa hired her here. It gives me a chance to keep an eye on her.
Aha. But who's going to watch her at Wrangler's?
Maybe I'll have to start moonlighting there.
You know, I think Sheila could give you a good reference.
Oh, I'm sure she would.
Listen, are you going to be stuck here doing inventory all by yourself?
No. Judy will, possibly be coming in here a little later. And Kim said she tried to make it after dinner, but Betsy, she has too much homework.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed them.
Oh, so am I. In fact, they left just like a few minutes before you got here.
How is Kim?
She seems fine. And I think Betsy's coming out of it. She seems to be adjusting.
Oh, that's good. Well, I better get home. I want to spend a little time with Annie before I rush off to the airport.
Oh, is something wrong? I know I shouldn't have asked. I'm sure that she wouldn't want you talking about her with me.
Melinda, I don't think Annie's harboring any resentment. Not now.
Well, I wish she didn't, but she has every right to. I just hope things aren't seriously wrong.
No, she just needs a little cheering up.
Well, you're certainly the one to do it, the mood you're in.
I just hope it lasts.
Play your cards right.
No playing cards, no games, remember?
Sometimes you have to.
Melinda, when are you starting the inventory?
Well, as soon as we close up the store, which should be now, as a matter of fact.
Oh, are you going to do it all by yourself?
No, Judy will be here and possibly Kim.
Oh, so I guess you don't need anybody else.
Sheila, I told you not to worry. We'll get along fine without you.
Oh, I know you did. It's just that I've had a sort of sudden change in plans. And I'm not going to be busy tonight.
Oh, it's too bad.
So if you still need me, I could use the overtime.
Well, sure. The more people we have, the sooner we'll get done.
Okay?
Well, I think I'll scoot so you two ladies can get to work.
Okay, why don't you start with the books that are already in the office, and I'll lock up and I'll be with you, okay?
Fine. Goodbye, Barbara.
Bye, Sheila. Call you tomorrow.
Oh, and give my best to Tom tonight when you meet him at the airport, Barbara.
I will.
Well, we better get started, or we're going to be here all night.
Oh.
We'll be driving you home on the way to dinner.
I'm not going home tonight.
Yes, you are.
Well, why? You never said anything about it before.
Telling you now.
Well, I don't want to spend the night at my house. I don't see why I can't stay here. You and Mrs. Coleman aren't going to be here anyway. You're driving your son to the airport.
But we'll be coming back here after that.
Well, I'll stay in my room. You won't even know I'm here.
It's all settled, Hester. We're taking you home.
It was her idea, wasn't it?
No, Lisa knows nothing about it yet.
What difference does it make whether I'm here or not?
It's important to me that I spend the evening alone with Lisa.
No, Bennett.
And you
No.
have nothing to say about it.
That look in your eyes. It terrifies me. That same look you had the night when Ruth...
That is enough, Hester. You're going home and that's final.
I was right, wasn't I?
About what?
About her taking your writing to Derek Bickford. She sneaked it out of your room and took it to him.
It's none of your business.
It is my business because I'm the one who told you about it. Otherwise, you'd have never known.
You better get ready. We're gonna leave soon.
That's why you went into town that day. After I told you I'd heard her talking to Derek.
We're leaving very soon.
I was right about her. Wasn't I, Bennett? Answer me.
Yes, you were right. Does that please you?
Yes. Yes, it does. Because now maybe you'll see that I've been right about some other things, too. Now you know what kind of woman she is, the kind who goes sneaking around...
That's enough, Hester.
You're gonna let her get away with it.
I didn't say that.
Oh, but you are. You're gonna let her get away with it. Just like you let her get away with snooping all over this house, even in Ruth's room.
I didn't say I was gonna let her get away with this.
But you're planning another romantic evening, all alone with her. And that's why you want me out of the way.
And I didn't say anything about a romantic evening.
No. It's not what you have in mind, is it?
I have a score to settle with Lisa, and it's gonna be settled tonight.
Hope Tom's plane got off all right. I wanted very much to stay and just to make sure, but you seemed to be very anxious to get home. And then in the car, you hardly spoke to me at all. I thought there for a while that maybe you were over whatever it was that had upset you so much, but... Well, anyway, you said that once we got home and we were alone, we could talk, so... Bennett, please tell me what's bothering you.
You took the first 2 chapters of my book to Derek Bickford.
That's right, I did.
You sneaked into my room behind my back and stole them.
No, wait just a minute. I did this because I tried to persuade you, but you wouldn't listen. You would not give them to him yourself.
I'm not ready for him to see them. That book is it's part of my soul, and I have to protect it.
Just a moment now, before you get too angry. Wouldn't you like to hear what he had to say? Oh, Bennett, he thought the first chapter was absolutely brilliant. He said that you were incredibly talented.
I don't care what Derek Bickford thinks. I don't care about any of that. The only thing I care about is that I thought I could trust you with my life. I gave you my trust and you betrayed me, just like she did.
Oh, no. No, wait just a moment. I am not Ruth. I am Lisa. You must remember that. I'm Lisa, and I love you very much. I would never hurt you the way she did. Bennett, what I did for you. You must understand that, and you've got to stop this not trusting every woman you meet just because Ruth was so... because of her infidelity. That's in the past.
Just don't you see? It's still with me. It's as if... It's as if my mind stopped functioning when I found out she was involved with Martin Blake. I hated her. But you see, I loved her at the same time. And those 2 passions, they practically tore me apart.
I know, I can understand that. But now what you've got to understand is that I am not Ruth. I am Lisa. And I do love you very much. Bennett, you're so strong. Sometimes you frighten me with your strength. Oh, I don't want to be a part of that. I need you so much.